Amidst the vast and tumultuous Pacific Ocean, the mighty warship HMS Queen Elizabeth of the Royal Navy advances with pride. However, amidst this grand journey, an unexpected event occurs as the Chinese fleet and Russian warships appear near a disputed area. This dramatic confrontation quickly becomes the focal point of global attention, as its potential consequences could alter the landscape of international relations. What truly transpired in this encounter? And what is the significance of this event? Join Ocean Force as we decode and analyze every aspect of this decisive situation. HMS Queen Elizabeth, a symbol of Royal Navy power. As the pride of the British Royal Navy, HMS Queen Elizabeth has recently been deployed to the Indo-Pacific region with a primary mission of safeguarding freedom of navigation and reaffirming the UK's commitment to its allies worldwide. This move is particularly significant amid rising tensions in strategic areas, especially the South China Sea, a vital trade route valued at trillions of dollars annually. Escorting HMS Queen Elizabeth is a formidable task force, including destroyers, frigates, supply ships, and advanced stealth F-35B fighter jets. Far from being a mere transit mission, this fleet has actively participated in joint exercises with the United States, Japan, and Australia, showcasing Britain's military strength and proactive role in maintaining regional peace and stability. The technology and power of HMS Queen Elizabeth. HMS Queen Elizabeth is not just an ordinary warship. It symbolizes Britain's global power and influence. Measuring 919 feet in length and displacing 65.000 tons. It is one of the world's most advanced aircraft carriers, capable of carrying over 40 aircraft, including F-35B Lightning fighter jets, one of the most modern combat aircraft today. With vertical takeoff and landing capabilities combined with cutting-edge stealth technology, the F-35B enhances the ship's combat power and operational flexibility. Additionally, HMS Queen Elizabeth is equipped with state-of-the-art radar systems, advanced electronic warfare capabilities, and sophisticated missile defense systems such as Sea Scepter, enabling it to counter various threats effectively. These systems allow the carrier to detect and track targets from long distances, intercept missiles, and engage enemy aircraft efficiently. Besides its formidable offensive and defensive capabilities, HMS Queen Elizabeth also boasts a modern fuel supply and combat support system, ensuring extended operational endurance at sea without frequent port returns. The accompanying supply ships provide ammunition, fuel, and other essential resources to sustain fleet operations. The strategic significance of HMS Queen Elizabeth. The presence of HMS Queen Elizabeth in the Indo-Pacific region is not just a powerful military statement but also a clear political message. It reaffirms Britain's role in upholding freedom and democracy while demonstrating its commitment to regional security and stability, particularly amid intensifying power rivalries. Deploying HMS Queen Elizabeth to this region serves both a deterrence purpose and a means of strengthening partnerships with allies such as the US, Japan, and Australia, nations with significant strategic interests in the South China Sea. This region is not just a crucial trade artery but also a hotspot for complex territorial disputes. The South China Sea, a global strategic focal point. The South China Sea is not only a critical commercial lifeline but also a center of territorial conflicts. Approximately 30% of global trade passes through this region annually, with goods valued at $5.3 trillion. Therefore, ensuring freedom of navigation here is vital to the global economy, particularly for major economies. The presence of HMS Queen Elizabeth and its allies in the region is part of a broader strategy to maintain stability and uphold international law. The recent confrontation between HMS Queen Elizabeth and Chinese and Russian fleets is just one indication of escalating tensions. Could this lead to major shifts in the global balance of power? Ocean Force will continue to monitor and analyze the latest developments. The South China Sea, a geopolitical battleground. The South China Sea is one of the world's most critical regions, not only for trade but also due to its vast natural resources. Countries such as the United States, Japan, and several Southeast Asian nations are particularly invested in this region, not just for economic reasons but also because of its immense strategic significance. According to the International Energy Agency, IEA, the South China Sea may contain approximately 11 billion barrels of oil and 6.7 trillion cubic feet of natural gas. This massive resource reserve has drawn the attention of numerous nations, fueling sovereignty disputes among China, Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia, and Brunei. China has claimed almost the entire South China Sea through its controversial Nine-Dash Line, a move that has faced strong opposition from neighboring nations and the international community. To solidify its position, China has expanded its military presence in the region by constructing military facilities on disputed islands and conducting large-scale military exercises. These actions have raised concerns not only among regional nations but also among major external powers such as the US, Japan, and Australia. These countries have conducted joint exercises and strengthened defense cooperation to protect freedom of navigation and their strategic interests in the region. Amid China's growing military influence, Russia has also joined the geopolitical contest by conducting joint naval drills with Beijing. These exercises include anti-submarine operations and missile defense drills, showcasing a deepening strategic alliance between these two powers in safeguarding their interests in the South China Sea. The increasing military cooperation between Russia and China not only strengthens their strategic partnership but also sends a strong message about the alignment of non-Western powers. This presents a significant challenge to the West, particularly the United States and its allies. A tense standoff in the South China Sea. A notable incident occurred when Chinese warships confronted the HMS Queen Elizabeth carrier strike group in the South China Sea. Though no physical clash took place, Chinese warships approached and engaged in provocative maneuvers, escalating regional tensions. HMS Queen Elizabeth's presence is not merely a display of Britain's military might but also highlights the significant challenges to the international order in the Indo-Pacific region. While China and Russia seek to expand their influence, Western nations, including the UK, remain steadfast in defending freedom of navigation and international values. The escalating tensions raise a critical question. Can the involved parties exercise restraint to prevent conflict? Or will the region continue to witness intensifying confrontations? Military exercises and diplomatic activities between the UK, China, Russia, and their allies have created a complex geopolitical landscape, where stability can be shaken at any moment. A showdown of military power. The South China Sea is not only resource-rich but also a battlefield where major powers vie for influence. The next developments will determine the region's future and significantly impact the global balance of power. As the Indo-Pacific region increasingly becomes a flashpoint, the risk of conflict is alarmingly rising. Growing naval tensions, particularly the clear presence of China, Russia, the UK, and the US, have turned these waters into a hotspot for potential military clashes. Frequent encounters between warships make the environment highly volatile. A minor mistake, a provocative action, or even a simple misunderstanding could quickly escalate into a serious confrontation. Military leaders have repeatedly warned that in this highly militarized region, any incident could spiral into an international crisis. A high-stakes military confrontation. On the high seas, the British aircraft carrier HMS Queen Elizabeth and its allied forces conduct routine patrols. The sea is calm, sunlight glistens on the water, and the massive carrier glides smoothly across the ocean. Escorted by destroyers and supply ships, everything seems normal, until a series of unusual signals appear on the radar. Using advanced sensors, including the 3D Artisan passive radar and the S-850M long-range radar, HMS Queen Elizabeth quickly detects a group of approaching Chinese and Russian warships. Initially appearing as small blips on the radar screen, the signals soon clarify into a clear and pressing threat. Faced with the calculated approach of enemy warships, British forces immediately implement defensive strategies. F-35B Lightning II fighter jets rapidly take off from the carrier deck, conducting reconnaissance missions and jamming enemy radar signals to obscure the fleet's positioning. The British escort ships establish a tight defensive perimeter around HMS Queen Elizabeth. Activating the Sea Viper missile defense system, capable of intercepting long-range threats, to counter any potential danger. Although no shots have been fired, every move signals a calculated maneuver, testing the Royal Navy's resolve. Will this tense standoff escalate further? Only time will tell. On the open sea, British commanders closely monitored every movement of their adversaries through the Automatic Identification System, (ICE), and advanced target tracking systems. Any unusual sign could lead to an immediate tactical decision. They understood well that a single mistake could push the situation into an unintended conflict. A display of weakness might embolden the opposition to escalate pressure, while an overly aggressive move could ignite an unwanted confrontation. The fragile balance between power and strategy was being tested to its limits. Beneath the deck, all weapon systems were on high alert. Every move made by Chinese and Russian warships was being meticulously tracked, leaving no detail unnoticed. In this tense atmosphere, every decision carried life or death significance. Above, the F-35Bs continued their patrol, while below, warships maintained their formations. A direct confrontation had yet to occur, but the stifling tension in the air suggested that just one spark could set off a full-scale conflict at any moment. As tensions escalated in international waters, F-35 fighter jets continued their patrols while destroyers and escort ships of the British task force maintained defensive positions. Every preparation was made to counter potential threats from enemy warships or aircraft. The British destroyers, equipped with advanced radar systems, closely tracked every movement of the Chinese and Russian warships. Despite being in a state of high combat readiness, the British forces exercised restraint to avoid unnecessary escalation. Royal Navy commanders adhered strictly to secure military communication protocols, maintaining dialogue with opposing forces while simultaneously preparing tactical response and withdrawal plans in case of provocation. Meanwhile, U.S. and Japanese warships, though not directly involved, closely monitored the situation. These Allied forces moved closer to the position of HMS Queen Elizabeth, ready to provide support should the situation deteriorate. Their presence not only reinforced the strength of the British forces but also sent a strong message that this was a collective effort by multiple nations to uphold regional stability. Beyond warships, unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, from both sides became increasingly active, conducting reconnaissance and intelligence-gathering missions. Equipped with advanced thermal sensors, these UAVs could detect submarines and moving warships. However, the rapid increase in surveillance assets heightened the risk of collision or misunderstanding, which could trigger unpredictable events. Given the high stakes, British commanders had to maintain restraint while remaining prepared for any scenario. The British warships maintained a safe tactical distance, ensuring control over the situation without provoking the opposition. The defensive strategy was continuously updated to respond swiftly to real-time developments. The prolonged tension forced diplomatic channels between the UK, NATO, China, and Russia into overdrive. British officials coordinated closely with NATO and the US to convey a clear message about the importance of de-escalation. This effort was not only aimed at diffusing the current situation but also at preventing the risk of a full-scale conflict in the long run. As negotiations took place, military forces from both sides continued their standoff in international waters, where even the smallest mistake could lead to unforeseen consequences. The question remained: would restraint be enough to prevent a major crisis? Or was this just the beginning of a new cycle of tensions? Military analysts and experts closely followed the developments, asserting that even minor actions could have significant global repercussions. Meanwhile, Chinese and Russian diplomats quickly engaged with their naval commanders, urging all parties to remain calm and avoid any moves that could lead to armed confrontation. Gradually, the tense radio communications between military commanders eased into a more composed tone. Was this a sign of de-escalation, or merely the calm before the next storm? The world watched intently, a strategic retreat to avoid unnecessary escalation. Amid rising tensions in the Indo-Pacific, delicate diplomatic maneuvers helped establish mutual understanding and a commitment to preventing military escalation. Thanks to this restraint, an unnecessary conflict was averted, marking a significant diplomatic victory. Although the HMS Queen Elizabeth carrier strike group maintained its defensive stance, They strategically chose to withdraw to avoid further escalation. This decision was not an act of concession but a calculated military adjustment, reflecting a deep understanding of the consequences of military actions in the international political landscape. Instead of pushing the situation to the brink of conflict, they adopted a tactical approach to maintain control without resorting to force. The carrier group's retreat coincided with the gradual dispersal of Chinese and Russian warships, bringing an end to a confrontation that, while silent, was a major test of strategic resolve and military willpower. This was not only a peaceful resolution to military tensions but also a profound lesson on the importance of diplomacy in high-risk situations, where avoiding war can sometimes be more challenging than winning on the battlefield. Long-term consequences and increased military posturing. However, the incident left lasting repercussions, as trust between the involved nations eroded significantly. To ensure readiness for similar scenarios in the future, NATO commanders proposed increasing the frequency and scale of joint exercises in the Indo-Pacific. This was not only a preparation for potential scenarios but also a reminder of the necessity of always being ready for the unexpected. While such military exercises could heighten tensions, they were deemed essential in strengthening military capabilities and improving coordination among allied nations. Meanwhile, China and Russia saw these actions as an opportunity to further assert their influence, justifying their military presence in the region as necessary for safeguarding strategic interests and securing vital trade routes. Both powers emphasized that their military presence was not provocative but merely a defensive measure against potential Western threats. However, this stance further strained international relations, as both sides continued to bolster their forces to protect their respective interests. The situation remained volatile, with stability appearing unlikely unless a shift in approach occurred among the key players. The rising risk of conflict and the need for diplomatic restraint. In this context, enhanced restraint and diplomatic dialogue could be viable solutions to prevent future conflicts. However, this is no easy task, as trust between nations has gradually eroded over time. With frequent maritime encounters, situations can escalate rapidly, and unforeseen consequences could soon become a reality. A hypothetical scenario: a close call near HMS Queen Elizabeth. Imagine a dangerous scenario where a Chinese warship aggressively approaches an escorting British destroyer near HMS Queen Elizabeth. The situation could quickly become critical, if the British warship had no choice but to fire a warning shot to force the opposing vessel to retreat. This act could trigger an immediate response from China, escalating the situation toward armed conflict. In this scenario, if the Chinese warship refused to back down and instead retaliated with countermeasures, the confrontation could rapidly escalate into a full-scale war, with both sides prepared for combat, armed with missiles and firepower. Even the slightest miscalculation could ignite a major conflict between global powers. The uncertain future of the Indo-Pacific. The situation in the Indo-Pacific remains complex, with the risk of escalation growing. Only through strong diplomatic efforts and a well-calibrated strategy of restraint can the involved parties avoid an unwanted showdown. Preserving peace and stability in the region. The South China Sea standoff. The South China Sea, a strategic maritime crossroads where military powers collide, suddenly became the epicenter of an intense standoff. The British aircraft carrier HMS Queen Elizabeth, on a routine patrol mission, found itself facing a strong reaction from China. Everything escalated quickly when a series of anti-ship missile events unfolded, forcing the British side to deploy missile defense systems. In response, Chinese warships activated their own anti-ship missile systems, including the DF-21D, a weapon notorious for its capability to strike moving naval targets from long distances. Simultaneously, China deployed fighter jets from nearby bases, including J-15s and J-20s, to counter HMS Queen Elizabeth's presence. The aerial confrontation intensified as the Royal Navy decided to launch additional F-35 fighter jets to protect its carrier. These next-generation aircraft quickly engaged in high-stakes encounters over the South China Sea. Although no missiles were fired, the intense maneuvers and dangerous close-range encounters made the situation feel like a tightly wound spring, ready to snap at any moment. A minor collision could have unimaginable consequences. If a missile were accidentally fired or a confrontation between fighter jets occurred, tensions could quickly escalate into a full-scale conflict. China's Type 50D destroyers advanced, forming a defensive perimeter around HMS Queen Elizabeth, making it difficult for NATO warships to approach and provide support. A seemingly small incident, such as an accidental shot, could serve as a catalyst, plunging the entire region into a military crisis. If a conflict erupted, within seconds, the South China Sea could turn into a battlefield engulfed in flames. NATO, the US, and Japan would swiftly deploy reinforcements to support the British strike group. U.S. Arleigh Burke-class destroyers, equipped with the advanced Aegis system, could play a crucial role in long-range defense, intercepting threats before they reach HMS Queen Elizabeth. Meanwhile, F-22 fighter jets and P-8 Poseidon reconnaissance aircraft would assist in airspace control and intelligence gathering on enemy movements. China, backed by regional allies and possibly Russia, would rapidly expand the scope of the conflict. The situation could draw in India, Australia, and Southeast Asian nations, pushing the region into an unprecedented large-scale war. Beyond its military significance, such a war could severely disrupt global supply chains, impacting energy, goods, and vital shipping routes in the South China Sea, potentially plunging the global economy into a severe crisis. The role of advanced technology in conflict. In this scenario, advanced technology could become the decisive factor. HMS Queen Elizabeth boasts F-35B Lightning II aircraft with stealth capabilities, precision weaponry, and cutting-edge targeting systems. The Royal Navy also utilizes UAVs and satellite reconnaissance systems to gather real-time intelligence on adversaries, enabling them to deploy tactics proactively and neutralize threats before escalation. This event underscores the fragility of peace in the Indo-Pacific. Major powers may attempt to contain the conflict through diplomacy. But is this a sustainable solution? Or is war merely a matter of time? Will tensions continue to simmer? Or will they erupt into an all-out war? If conflict does break out, the duration of the war will play a crucial role in determining its outcome. A war lasting a few weeks or months could be quickly concluded due to NATO's technological superiority and airpower dominance. However, if the war drags on, it could turn into a war of attrition, depleting resources and plunging the world into prolonged instability. The challenges of a prolonged war. In the context of global military tensions, China's navy, with its vast fleet and formidable firepower, could exert significant pressure on NATO in a prolonged war. If this were to happen, NATO would require substantial support from the US and European allies to maintain military strength and protect its interests. The Indo-Pacific could become a grueling battleground lasting for years. However, a large-scale war would not only result in military devastation but also weaken global alliances, throwing the world economy into severe instability and leaving millions of people in hardship. Although the likelihood of an all-out war remains low at present, the possibility of escalation from minor skirmishes cannot be ruled out. This could be a costly lesson from history, reminding nations of the fragility of peace and the necessity of conflict prevention measures. The question remains: should we be worried about this scenario? Or is it merely a localized situation? Let's discuss the challenges and opportunities in maintaining regional stability. Naval strategy. The impact of extreme weather on aircraft carriers. Beyond military strategy, another question arises. What happens to carrier-based aircraft during a severe storm? Can they withstand powerful winds and turbulent waves? Are these aircraft truly safe while parked on the deck? Or do they face the risk of being swept into the sea? Aircraft carriers are not just floating airbases but fortresses equipped to handle emergency situations. Modern safety systems, combined with the crew's professional coordination, ensure aircraft protection even in the harshest weather conditions. However, risks remain. Imagine a powerful storm striking, with fierce winds and towering waves crashing over the flight deck, posing extreme challenges in safeguarding fighter jets. While the chances of an aircraft being blown off the deck are rare, the risk persists, especially during extreme weather events such as typhoons, tsunamis, or high wind pressure zones. One notable incident occurred in 2018 when an F/A-18 Hornet faced a critical landing failure on the USS Theodore Roosevelt in rough seas. Strong winds and high waves caused the flight deck to sway violently, disrupting the landing process. As the aircraft approached, it failed to catch the arresting cable, a crucial system for safe landings. The strong winds and continuous movement of the ship destabilized the aircraft, forcing the pilot to eject just before the jet plunged into the sea. Fortunately, the pilot survived, but the F/A-18 Hornet was lost entirely, resulting in significant financial damage. This incident highlighted the severe challenges both pilots and carrier systems face when operating in extreme weather. Following this event, the U.S. Navy implemented crucial improvements, including upgrading integrated weather sensors, enhancing aircraft automated control systems, and refining pilot training programs to better prepare for extreme conditions. This incident was not just a costly lesson but also an opportunity to enhance the operational capabilities of aircraft carriers in challenging environments. On a carrier, not only are takeoff and landing operations risky, but even parked aircraft face significant dangers, especially in severe weather conditions. In rough seas, the ship can continuously sway, exerting immense pressure on aircraft tie-down systems. This is why safety measures remain a top priority to ensure naval air power remains combat-ready under all circumstances. Engineering solutions. How aircraft carriers minimize risks. On modern aircraft carriers, ensuring the safety of aircraft is a crucial and complex task. The crew tightens chains and increases the number of tie-downs to secure aircraft firmly. However, in rare cases, restraint systems may fail or prove insufficient against severe storms, leading to damage or even aircraft being swept off the deck. So, how do aircraft carriers mitigate these risks? NavyPower has explored the advanced design secrets and modern technologies used on these floating fortresses. Modern carriers like the Gerald R. Ford class can accommodate up to 75 aircraft, while the older Nimitz-class carriers hold around 70. These ships have a displacement of up to 110.000 tons, allowing them to withstand powerful waves and winds while acting as natural stabilizers to reduce deck oscillation. The flight deck is made of ultra-reinforced steel, capable of withstanding winds of up to 125 miles per hour and impacts from high-speed objects. The thickness of the deck in high-pressure areas, such as landing zones and aircraft storage areas, can reach up to 4 inches. Coated with an abrasion-resistant layer to extend its lifespan. Additionally, advanced stabilization and counterweight systems help carriers maintain stability even in the face of the strongest storms. These systems use gyroscopes and inclination sensors to detect the slightest changes in ship angles or vibrations. Modern carriers like the Gerald R. Ford class also feature an intelligent balancing system that uses adjustable ballast tanks to manage real-time weight distribution, ensuring optimal stability. Thanks to this system, even when facing 20 to 33-foot waves, the carrier remains stable, significantly reducing deck movement. Furthermore, arresting cables and tie-down systems play a critical role in securing aircraft. Arresting cables are designed to withstand extreme forces during landings, while tie-down chains are fastened to steel anchor points on the deck to keep aircraft stationary. When aircraft are parked on the flight deck, rigorous safety mechanisms are deployed. Each aircraft is secured with at least 12 high-strength chains, each capable of handling up to 44.000 pounds of tension. These chains are attached to anchor points designed to withstand maximum forces, even under severe sea conditions. Additionally, arresting cables, made from ultra-durable carbon steel alloys, can endure tensile forces exceeding 54.000 pounds. In the rare event of a chain failure, backup safety locks are activated to hold the aircraft in place and minimize movement risks. To prevent aircraft from slipping or shifting on the deck, wheel chocks made of heavy-duty rubber or specialized wood are placed in front of and behind the wheels to prevent skidding, even on inclined or wet surfaces. Beyond physical measures, modern carriers are equipped with advanced sensors and monitoring technologies, such as Doppler radar and wave motion sensors, to predict abnormal ship movements. Data from these sensors is processed by a central computer system, allowing the crew to make rapid adjustments and ensure maximum safety. All these technologies and systems work in perfect synchronization to keep aircraft carriers and their onboard aircraft safe, even under the harshest ocean conditions. Advanced engine and weather monitoring systems on aircraft carriers. Each engine on an aircraft carrier is continuously monitored by sensors that provide detailed data on pressure, temperature, and performance, ensuring that everything remains under control. Thanks to automation and high precision, the aircraft carrier can minimize the impact of storms, maintain deck stability, and ensure the safety of both aircraft and crew. Beyond propulsion systems, superior weather monitoring technology also plays a crucial role in protecting the carrier. A network of advanced sensors and measuring instruments continuously gathers data on wind speed, wave height, atmospheric pressure, and other key meteorological factors. These highly sensitive sensors are installed across the ship, including on the deck and hull, creating a real-time meteorological map. This weather monitoring system is also connected to satellites, allowing it to collect data from thousands of kilometers away, enabling accurate predictions of complex phenomena such as cyclones, tropical depressions, and tsunamis. As a result, the ship's command team can make timely decisions to protect aircraft, equipment, and the safety of the entire crew. The role of the crew, courage and expertise. Another crucial factor that ensures the effective operation of aircraft carriers is the dedicated and courageous crew, who are always ready to face any challenge to ensure the ship's safety. From the moment they join the Navy, they undergo rigorous training in operational techniques, aircraft deck handling, and the use of modern securing equipment such as tie-down chains and locking systems. Additionally, all crew members receive training in sea survival, oil spill response, firefighting, and even combat when necessary. These skills ensure that they are always prepared to respond to emergencies, protecting not only themselves but also the aircraft carrier, a symbol of military strength and technological advancement. The future of aircraft carriers, challenges and innovations. With increasing challenges, can aircraft carriers continue to maintain their dominance? What innovations will be implemented to ensure maximum safety and efficiency? These are critical questions not only for the Navy but also for the defense industry as a whole. Continuous innovation is necessary to meet the ever stricter demands of modern warfare and the growing severity of natural conditions. Rigorous training on aircraft carriers. Amidst the vast ocean, where relentless waves crash against the hull, aircraft carrier crew members must endure the harshest conditions. They are not just operators of a colossal machine but also warriors capable of adapting to any environment. Survival and rescue training. In hazardous conditions, they are trained to master rescue equipment such as lifeboats, automatic life jackets, and first aid techniques for emergency situations. Training exercises are not limited to simulation rooms. They are also conducted directly in rough seas and freezing weather to ensure adaptability and composure in all circumstances. Precision and coordination in combat operations. The crew must work in perfect coordination for high-precision missions, such as managing continuous aircraft launches and landings in adverse weather. Training is not a one-time event but a recurring process to maintain skills, ensuring they are always prepared for any scenario. Emergency drills and incident response. Every crew member participates in regular drills to enhance their ability to respond to dangerous situations such as fuel storage fires, radiation leaks from nuclear reactors, or even enemy submarine attacks. These drills not only strengthen teamwork but also sharpen reflexes and tactical thinking, ensuring that every decision is made swiftly and accurately. Integrating modern technology with strategic intelligence. Beyond individual skills, the crew collaborates with weather monitoring systems to detect potential threats early and take preventive measures. They frequently attend specialized workshops led by meteorological experts to deepen their understanding of complex weather phenomena such as tropical depressions, cyclones, and ocean currents. This knowledge helps them accurately predict adverse conditions and prepare effective strategies to safeguard equipment and onboard assets. Maritime security and ship protection. In addition to handling natural hazards, the crew is trained in maritime security tactics, including counter-piracy strategies, safeguarding the vessel in disputed waters, and responding to cyberattacks targeting control systems. These skills not only ensure the safety of the aircraft carrier but also contribute to global maritime security, forming a robust defense layer when combined with the ship's onboard security systems. Blank. Underscore. Blank. The engineering and technology behind aircraft carriers. Aircraft carriers such as the Gerald R. Ford and Nimitz classes are not merely floating airfields but mobile fortresses. With a length exceeding 300 meters and flight decks reinforced with high-strength steel. These vessels can withstand powerful winds and massive waves, ensuring stability even in the harshest weather conditions. The Nimitz class is particularly notable for its hydraulic aircraft arresting system, which minimizes impact during landings. Additionally, fuel and weapons storage are strategically located beneath the deck to maximize safety in combat situations. Nuclear propulsion. The power behind endurance. One of the most remarkable strengths of the Nimitz-class carriers is their dual nuclear propulsion system, allowing them to operate continuously for over 20 years without refueling. This not only enhances mobility but also optimizes long-term operational costs. Integrated stabilization and counterweight systems further ensure ship stability even in the most extreme weather conditions. Deck safety. A top priority. Beyond maintaining ship stability, securing mechanisms such as chains, mooring lines, and safety locks are designed to keep aircraft firmly in place on the deck, regardless of wave intensity. Additionally, advanced anti-submarine warfare (ASW) systems help detect and neutralize underwater threats such as enemy submarines or naval mines. Thanks to the combination of modern technology, optimized design, and well-trained personnel, the risk of aircraft falling off the deck is nearly eliminated, even in the most severe storms. This synergy of factors has transformed aircraft carriers into some of the safest and most formidable combat platforms in the world. Blank. Underscore. Blank. Battling the waves. The resilience of aircraft carriers. Despite the violent tremors caused by towering waves, NavyPower always finds a solution. The answer lies in a series of specialized designs, features, and cutting-edge technologies implemented on modern aircraft carriers. Aircraft securing systems. The ultimate safeguard. On an aircraft carrier, aircraft cannot simply sit on the deck without being secured. That's why carriers are equipped with state-of-the-art aircraft tie-down systems that keep planes stable even in turbulent seas. High-strength chains or mooring cables are attached to fixed points on the deck, ensuring that aircraft do not drift or topple under the pressure of wind and waves. These securing systems are regularly inspected and tightened to maintain maximum stability. Aircraft tie-downs not only secure planes but also minimize strong vibrations that could affect the ship's structure and the safety of pilots and maintenance crews. Advanced locking mechanisms and deck layout. Modern aircraft carriers such as the Gerald R. Ford and Nimitz classes go beyond basic securing systems by incorporating intelligent locking mechanisms. These locking devices are strategically placed on the flight deck and may include rubber or wooden chocks, increasing grip and ensuring that aircraft remain in position. Additionally, the deck is designed with anti-slip surfaces, ensuring that even when large waves crash onto the deck, aircraft remain securely in place. Automatic stabilization and balancing technology. An aircraft carrier is not just a massive floating steel structure. It is equipped with advanced sensors that continuously monitor the ship's movements. These sensors measure tilt and roll angles, allowing the system to automatically adjust the center of gravity to maintain stability throughout the voyage. Carriers like Gerald R. Ford and Nimitz optimize this technology, enabling automatic balancing to minimize the effects of waves and wind. As a result, aircraft on the deck remain level, preventing unintended tipping or shifting. Through a combination of state-of-the-art engineering, advanced technology, and rigorous training, modern aircraft carriers stand as formidable symbols of naval dominance, capable of withstanding even the harshest challenges at sea. Robust structure and ultra-durable materials. The flight deck of an aircraft carrier is constructed from extremely durable materials, such as reinforced steel, capable of withstanding immense forces. This structure enables the carrier not only to endure harsh weather conditions but also to ensure the safety of aircraft, even in the face of the most violent waves. Weather monitoring systems and rapid response. Modern technology allows aircraft carriers to utilize real-time sensor systems and radar to monitor weather conditions. Data such as wind speed, wave height, and atmospheric pressure is continuously updated, enabling the crew to assess and make real-time decisions, adjusting the ship's speed or direction to minimize the impact of rough seas. The crew's role, the most crucial factor. Advanced technology plays a key role, but human expertise remains the decisive factor in protecting aircraft aboard aircraft carriers. The crew undergoes rigorous training to perform critical tasks, including securing aircraft tie-down systems, monitoring aircraft conditions, and executing emergency plans in adverse weather. Their professionalism and skill set are irreplaceable in maintaining safety. Future challenges: is current technology sufficient? Although current protective measures have been optimized, with the increasing effects of climate change and extreme weather phenomena, are these systems sufficient to guarantee absolute safety for aircraft aboard aircraft carriers? This is not only a major challenge but also a question that drives innovation and creativity in the military industry. Engineers, experts, and researchers worldwide continue to seek better solutions. If you had the opportunity to contribute ideas, what would you propose to enhance aircraft carrier safety? Could advanced automation, improved designs, or groundbreaking training methods help carriers better withstand violent storms and the unpredictable changes of the ocean?